Apparently, Texas is underwater. Look at this.
All right, we now want to focus on the rescue mission. And joining us now from the U.S. Coast Guard Air Station in Corpus Christi is Lieutenant Ian Hopper, AMT-3 Seth Reeves, Lieutenant Blair Ogujifor, and AST-3 Scott Ruskin.
Thank you all so much all around the world?
For joining us and for helping out in this mission to find these 23 young little girls and the families who are also impacted by the storm. So, Lieutenant Hopper, I'll start with you. How is the Coast Guard responding to this flood in Texas right now?
Good morning. Yeah, so primarily we're using our helicopter assets. So the MH-65
Probably all dead.
Echo
Yeah, I don't know.
is primarily a maritime search and rescue asset, so we're used to going offshore. But right now we are using it for inland search and rescue. So operating
today, like I've received like 5 like Amber Alert warnings on my phone. I've gotten a lot of them today.
Using our hoist capability or just landing and picking people up and transiting them.
Is flooding? Yeah, there's a lot of rain now.
Dolphin.
So like 8, I don't know who's best to answer this question, but you all figure that out. You know, obviously, you look at the video, you see these incredible floodwaters, you see the incredible efforts to rescue people, and hundreds of people have been rescued. What are the additional complications that you all have to deal with, that you have to you know, obviously you have a lot of people who want, you know, civilians who want to help out, but you don't want them to get in the way. What are the additional complications that you want to kind of warn civilians about not getting in your way?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different complications. Primarily, a lot of civilians are
look at that.
We were all operating
insane.
on the same frequency when
Those
we
are
were
trees.
flying. Additional complications would be so Scott here. He's our rescue swimmer. And he,
the floodgates just fell down.
Additional complications would be so Scott here. He's our
That's
rescue
about
swimmer,
right.
And he, you can explain a little bit.
Kind of what was going on the ground. Yeah. A lot of times what was happening is everyone wants to do as much as they can to help out, and we truly appreciate that. But sometimes they don't always have the best communication. So biggest thing is just trying to pass stuff off to the higher level of care. Pass it up the food chain about who's where, who needs help.
Holy shit.
And then you can get like a government agency out there to try to help.
24 dead, at least 23 kids missing. That is insane.
As fast as we can. And then we can triage from there and kind of get people to safety. But most important thing is staying out of the river, super dangerous. And keep yourself safe before you put yourself in a more dangerous situation.
Flash flood?
When we look at this current scenario with nearly 24 young girls that are missing, what scenario exists that they can be found alive? Have they, could they have just been swept away and they're, hanging onto a tree? Is there
Can't people just swim? No, because so a lot of people don't understand how powerful currents are. And people think that it's just like water. But if you look at even like an elite swimmer trying to swim against like certain types of water, they're not even remotely close. They just can't do it. It's devastating. I know people don't understand like the power and like the force of water. It pulls you under. Yeah, it's just and that's like this is like these are like Olympics level swimmers, right?
Scenario you see where they can be found alive?
Not even they can survive it.
That's of course that's a hard question to answer, but ultimately there's multiple assets, crews out there, both Coast Guard. You've got the Army out there. You've got DPS, the Department of Public Safety for Texas. So we're giving everyone the best chance that they've got. And really working as a team in Texas here to
too much debris, rip you to pieces. Yeah, exactly.
The best shot.
Yeah,
Or
Lieutenant.
found me too confident. I mean, realistically, a lot of the people that are lost are dead. I mean, they're dead. Like that's just. I mean, realistically, it's sad to say, but if you're a kid, how the fuck are you going to survive out there? Maybe 1 out of the 23 survives. I would say if 5 out of the 23 survived, I would be shocked. It's like a miracle.
For anybody else, you could chime in with stories as well if you've heard them. But What are some of the stories that people are telling
Sad,
you
but yeah.
Who you have rescued? What are they saying about their experience?
So personally, I haven't been able to speak with anyone. I know we landed yesterday, and then we also had to take the new crews out to give them a fam flight of the area. But some of our crews that stayed back, they did get to see a couple of the girls that we actually took in our aircraft, reunited with their families. So I know, and the folks at the hotel too, they had a mother who approached them and was like, "Thank you so much. My daughter is alive because you guys were able to assist her today." So, I mean, I can only imagine that they're grateful.
I don't have much minimal empathy for people that don't listen to emergency warnings. It's easy to say that, but like, you have to keep in mind that these are kids. And so like, really, these kids are going to be at the mercy of their parents' decision making. So even if the kids are, not listening to the emergency warnings, that's really probably the parents that aren't listening. And so I wouldn't blame that on the kids. Yeah, it's just not. And also, there's a lot of flash floods and things like this that can happen really fast, too. It was a summer camp?
When we were picking up folks, have, young girls who were asking, about if we knew where their siblings were. And, at that point, we're just trying to get and help those who we can assist. And, just praying and hoping that folks are able to get reunited with their families.
So, Scott, when you do,
the fact is, like, a lot of people always try to find like some sort of person who's at fault. Sometimes bad shit just happens, man. There's no conspiracy. There's no mistake. Sometimes bad shit just happens.
Hear from people that need rescuing. What is the most common way that do you just find them, or are people able to reach out with phones? And what's the most common way that they contact you to let you know that they need help?
Yeah, as far as right now, we've been getting our tasking from higher up, mostly from the Army as of right now. But a lot of it's just been large stage triaging. So we were
crazy that they actually filmed the flood sign falling down.
Probably got about 200 people out of there alone. And it was we just saw a huge crowd of about 200 kids at a campsite. So we're like, cool, that's where we're going to go. And we're just going to get as many people out as we can. Until they were all gone. We got them all out yesterday at Mystic. So
huge fucking W.
Listen, first and foremost, we know this isn't easy for you all. You're doing God's work out there, and sometimes the results aren't what you want them to be. It's rescue and recovery. And we just want you to know we're praying for you, and we thank God every day that there are people like you out there who are willing to show up and do this, even on the tough days. So thank you so much.
God bless you all.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for what
Yeah, I mean, this shit is fucking insane. Let me see if I can show and get this, and let me see if I can show and pull this up.
The flood started getting bigger, and it was going up to, we have bunk beds in our cabins, and it was going up to the top bunk, and we had one choice, and we had to swim out of our cabins.
Under an hour?
Campers from Camp La Junta lucky to be alive this morning after they say they had to swim out of their cabins during flash floods in Kerr County. That camp just a few miles up the Guadalupe River from Camp Mystic. That's where more than 20 campers are still missing this morning. Thanks for waking up with us on this.
Yeah, we've only had this happen like in where I'm at. We've only had this happen one time.
Kerr County, but other counties near the San Antonio area. This is new video here you're looking at.
San Antonio is about 45 or so minutes away from Austin. It's actually quite close. And Guadalupe River, that's the river, I think, that's the one in San Marcos that people usually go tubing in that are from Texas State. It's a pretty popular place. Anybody in Austin probably has either been there if they grew up as like a young adult in Austin. They've been there. Yeah, and so it's 2-hour drive. Man, I thought it was a little bit, yeah, that's the river. Oh, is it the river? Yeah, well, either way, in that area, right? That's it.
Spring Branch, Texas. That's in Comal County. Storms rolled through those areas again around 2 this morning, with more rain expected later today. At last check, more than 230 people in Kerr County have been rescued and evacuated. The death toll is now up to 24. Efforts continued throughout and evacuated. The death.
I don't think people realize, like, if you get caught up in this, imagine if one of these sticks hits your leg in the wrong way. You're fucked. You're dead. You're dead. That's it. You're done. Right? And that's as an able-bodied adult.
Death toll is now up to 24. Efforts continued throughout the night to find more than 20 missing girls from Camp Mystic along the Guadalupe River. Those floodwaters rose more than 20 feet in the span of 2 hours. And just before we came on the air, we learned a director for a different camp near the Guadalupe River died in those floods. Heart of the Hills is a girls' camp in Hunt, Texas. They released a statement last night saying their director and co-owner, Jane Ransdale, did not make it. That camp says it was not in session when the floods began. 20 feet in
2 hours? Yeah, that's
what
what I'm saying.
But other camps were. Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick were in Kerrville last night, promising to find every missing person no matter what. One North Texas family says they are lucky to know their child is alive. Our Teresa Woodard spoke to them moments before they left to reunite with her.
And she wasn't even supposed to be at this session.
I spoke with Natalie and Jeff Dunning moments before they left North Texas, not long after they discovered their daughter, a Camp Mystic camp counselor, is safe.
I feel very, very sorry for the parents that don't know yet.
Communication from the hill country
Look how fast this is. Like this this got to be going like 40 miles an hour. Like, at least.
Communication from the hill country is hard. They don't yet know what their daughter saw or went through. They only know she was at a place she dearly loves.
Way faster. By the way, the fastest that a human can run is like 25, 30 miles an hour. And swimming obviously is less. You don't even have a chance. You're just cooked. You're done.
So close to God, and that's actually where she was baptized, was in Mystic last year.
They call Camp Mystic
Nah,
magical.
bro, I could do it.
When you look at pictures the camp previously shared on social media, you see it. And when you look at Hannah Dunning and a camp
it's
picture...
15 miles per hour? I thought the fastest people could run in a sprint was around 28 miles an hour, but I could be wrong.
She posted days ago, you feel it. Feel why she stayed an extra session at the very last minute.
She stayed there. God put her there for a reason, so that she could help.
Help the youngest campers.
And that's
some
a sprint.
Still missing.
Keep in mind. We'll get that.
8-year-old Hadley Hannah of Dallas among them. Her mom gave us this photo, hoping it helps her find Hadley.
I'll see if there's any more of these images here to show.
At least 20.
Let me see. I pull some of this up.
The desperate search for
this is it.
Usually for celebration, it's a very tough day in Texas, and it was a destructive flood.
Oh my God.
Taking property and sadly, lives.
Homes washed away, floodwaters swallowing buildings and vehicles. After more than a month's worth of rain fell since the morning hours.
This came at night when people were asleep in bed.
Yep.
Please pray for our community.
Dozens of water rescues along the Guadalupe River.
We have a few steps right here, and I can only assume that there was a house attached to it.
The river rising to...
That was a house? Holy fuck. God damn.
The river rising to levels not seen in decades, according to the National Weather Service, rising from...
You remember like that game, that South of Midnight game? People said that shit was unrealistic. That house floated away at the beginning of the game. I said, nah, bro, this shit happens in the South. It happens. There it is.
To 29 feet in just 4 hours, reaching the second highest level on record.
This happened very quickly over a very short amount of time that could not be predicted.
Campers forced to evacuate from sites along the rising riverbank, including at the all-girls summer camp, Camp Mystic, where officials say more than 20 campers are still missing.
Right now, the only concern we have is rescuing everybody and all these kids out here.
Storms also battering the Northeast overnight. Officials say at least 3 people were killed in Plainfield in central New Jersey after trees fell on their vehicles.
Yeah, it's nuts, bro. Like, for me, like, we live on a pretty elevated area. So the worst I had to deal with today is I used my umbrella to walk to and from the grocery store before I started my stream. I went live this morning. Other than that, it really wasn't much of a thing for me. But, like, this is absolutely unreal. It's crazy.
It takes me 5 minutes to get home. It took me 45 minutes to get home.
How fast can you swim?
There's trees down everywhere.
I don't know. I don't think I've swam in over 10 years.
Gusting to more than 60 miles per hour, taking down tree limbs and power lines. More than
Holy
110.
Fuck, are you kidding me? Oh my God.
110,000 households without power from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts.
Jesus.
And the danger in Central Texas is far from over. Officials warning that rising runoff will make an already disastrous situation even worse.
That's one of the reasons why, like, a lot of people that have big trees like that, they get them cut down if they're in disaster areas because, you know, that kind of stuff could happen and it could just come out of fucking nowhere.
This morning, many people still missing and officials confirmed yesterday. This
Look
is
at
the
this.
Guadalupe River off of Loop 534 near Bandera Highway. We saw several cars in the water.
Just
Those
sucks,
huge
yeah.
trees just completely toppled over, and we even saw a home that was swept away into the water. I mean, it was just a slat of concrete that was left. And we continue our live coverage as we have several teams out there this morning.
Katrina was worse. Oh no, it definitely was. It was a lot worse. But like this was really bad too. I mean, I think you're right. Obviously, that, like, you know, you have some of these that are like it's been worse in the past, but like.
Hey there, good morning, guys. So
that was like a national disaster. You have to keep in mind.
Ranch.
But this is definitely a state disaster.
River, right near the Schumacher crossing, which
Look
is
at
what
that.
it's called. But you can see that fence line that was there completely gone. This area, the river is right down here.
Yeah, bro, I'd be afraid even driving over that.
Elevated from the river, but you can see that the water reached this entire area here.
Holy
We're right in front of
shit.
a house, and follow me for a second right here. I want to
That
show
used
you
to be a house.
just how devastating this water was. There was a fence that used to be right here. It is now gone. These brick things right here, these posts, you could see they were uprooted. The one that's here, it was lifted up. I don't know where it is, but right across the road here, you could see the fence is gone, and you can see just how close the water got to the door. Now, I'm about 5'5", and you could see just how high the water got. You could see
you gotta keep in mind that, like, if this shit happens to somebody, it just ruins their entire fucking life. Like, it destroys everything that they have, and like it crushes everything. It just, because the thing is, like, you have insurance for some stuff, but you don't have insurance for everything. Like, you don't have insurance for, you know, maybe your TV. You might not have insurance for your sofa. And that's not even counting the amount of time. Like, everybody always thinks about the cost of the product, but they never think about sourcing, repairing, you know, getting new products or anything like that. So even if you have everything paid for, and it's like it doesn't destroy anything that has, like, an intangible sentimental value, you still have to spend a huge amount of time organizing and planning this all the time.
Up here, it could have even possibly gone a little higher. It's difficult to tell here, insane. But that water pushed in. Again, we're in an elevated area from where the river
Want
is.
to make houses more robust in the U.S.? Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons, and some of them make sense, some of them don't.
But it pushed in, broke into the back porch. You could see the damage to the garage there as well. And you could see this little tree. It stood no chance being bent over.
I'll talk to you. Yo, bye. No, my dad was saying, like, a lot of the people that are having this shit happen, they don't even have flood insurance at all because there's no reason to in this area. Because it's like something like this doesn't reasonably happen regularly, and homeowners insurance doesn't cover the majority of this stuff overall. Oh, really? Yeah. So they don't even have it. So they're like it's not even
from where the river is.
It's a massive amount
into the back porch. You could see the damage to the garage there as well, and you could see this little tree. It stood no chance being bent over, but it's still rooted. This is just a little bit of the example of the damage that we're seeing this morning for the very first time, because Highway 39 completely closed to us yesterday. We could not see this. We're going to continue to bring you more of these images throughout the morning. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, this is insane, man. Flood insurance can only be provided by the government. I don't know about that. But let me see if I find a few more of these. I'll look at one more and just get some more images of it.
And breaking right now, flooding disaster.
This is nuts,
Texas
bro.
Hill Country. Lives
Holy
lost,
shit.
And families desperate for answers, waiting for news about their loved ones.
Yeah.
Is a park. This is a very well-known park here in Kerrville. In fact, last year I was actually at this park covering the total solar eclipse.
Oh
it does
my
not
God.
Look like this. This is unlike
That's supposed to be
anything
a park?
people out here in Kerrville have ever seen. I mean, just look at the trees over there. They were completely knocked over from the power of the water. Just countless number of them as far as the eye can see. The Guadalupe has gone down some, according to
it's pretty
people out
fucked.
here,
Yeah,
but
it
is just absolutely devastating when you take a look at the damage that's already here. But again, on the sky part, that's where we saw the
like it's an insane level. Like I feel like, again, people that get caught by this and get affected by it, I mean, there's no way you survive this, man. Nature's stronger than nukes. It's not even close, right? It's like a 1,000 multiplier, right? It's not even like, oh, it's kind of close. It's just not even in the same universe. Nature is a billion, probably. Yeah, I mean, nukes are a joke compared to this. Yeah, and so it's absolutely insane. One volcano can end it. Yeah, definitely. And so no, it's just unbelievable. Super volcano. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how this happened. Nature wiped out the dinosaurs. Yeah, exactly. And where's that video? If I find the fucking video. Can I find? I don't know. Yeah. I think this is it. It goes. That's what happened to him, bro. Like, yeah. Holy shit. There they go. And never saw it coming. Yep, they never saw it coming. But no, 20 feet in 2 hours. That's unbelievable. And so and this is happening again, like an hour away from me, pretty much. And I've been getting like notifications and shit like this constantly, as like, a person, and I live in Austin, Texas, right? And so that's it. Actual footage of the events, yeah, clearly just an hour away. Yeah, no, it's a whole lot. Do you see what NMP said? No, I have no idea. I mean, I don't like somebody. I saw some LSF clip. NMP made a joke about it, made people mad. I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. But anyway, no, it's just like, in general, I see something like this, and it's just scary to see. It really is. And yeah, Jesus is on your side. Flat earthers can think. Well, I don't know about that. New updates, 43 confirmed dead. Wow. Holy shit. God damn. Have you and your family ever had close calls with disasters? The worst that we've had. So, the worst disaster that we ever had was in a couple of years ago, and it was a freeze that was so bad that it shut down the power everywhere, and it was frozen. All of the roads were frozen, everything. That was when Ted Cruz left to some fucking vacation or something like that, and everybody was really mad at him for it, justifiably so, by the way. And that's pretty much what it was. And I remember that happened, and it was kind of like, I was shocked to even see it, right? It was insane. Center Point. Yeah, and weren't you flying to? Yeah, it happened the one day that I was in LA. I was in California that one singular day, and everything went wrong. Everything went wrong that one day, and like after that, bro, I was like, I'm never leaving this place again. Like, this is just too fucking much. And lucky? No, it wasn't lucky, because my dad got stranded basically at his house, and his power, I'll go ahead and I'll show you like what it was like. Give me a second. Yeah, so like this is like his house, right? And so this is the driveway. And there was a tree, and this is obviously like his garage, right? And so like the car would be in the garage, and a tree fell over like this, straight up, totally fell over right in the way. And so basically, like, he couldn't even get out of his car. Like, he couldn't even leave if he wanted to. You don't have a chainsaw? Well, I mean, I just went out there with an axe and a saw, and I got a help from neighbor that chainsawed it. But, I mean, my plan was just to get that out of the way, and that was it. But I ended up getting a lot more of it done then later on. So, yeah, how he moved the tree? Yeah, I don't know. And looks like the hell of a, what is it, Houston didn't have power for a week or two? Yeah, it was insane, man. And yeah, I had a friend of mine come over and basically go and, you know, he checked on my dad, a huge fucking W friend, a guy I've known pretty much my entire life. And they were able to, you know, like basically rescue him because it was like his power was out, so I couldn't call him or anything. It was my friend Zach McElreevy. And, you know, like him and like his now wife at the time, or girlfriend at the time, wife now, you know, like he stayed there at their house for a couple of days while all the power was out. And so, yeah, no, and that's better in EU. Well, I don't know about that. It was just insane, man. And wasn't that when people were getting mad at the linemen? No, it definitely people were mad and they were very upset about it, etc. For fucking sure. And so, yeah, Greg Abbott blamed the whole thing on wind and solar energy. I mean, like, I don't know about being blamed on wind or solar energy or anything like that. I just, like, it just happens, right? I mean, shit like this happens. And you can always go and like, blame. It's, like, at the end of the day, shit happens. Shit happens, and whether it's in California or whatever else, no, he didn't. Yeah, I have no idea. And it's nature, bro. Yeah, and like, there's definitely, and I think that it's very important to... Video shows woman. What the fuck? What is this?
Yes, I promised you the video earlier. We have processed it. The reason that we couldn't run it right away is that we wanted to protect the privacy of this young woman. And if there's any hope in this story, it's that this 22-year-old woman went into the water in the Ingram, Texas area, which is about 20 miles upstream. So all those parents who are waiting for word, there's one miracle story that a woman who was swept away up there ended up here. Let's get right to that video so you can see what happened.
Holy fuck.
At around 8 o'clock this morning after the girl was swept all the way from Ingram all the way to Center Point, Texas.
And she's sitting there up on a tree.
Here says he went out on his deck and he saw, and he heard
20 miles, yeah,
screaming for help. And when he came out on his deck, he had to look way across the river. And when he did, he looked into the trees and he saw this woman being sheltered by a huge cypress tree. One limb had already been ripped off.
Yeah,
and
you can see that
about
at the top.
To be ripped off, but she had been in the tree for several hours at that point already, because she was swept out of her camp.
I'd just be scared at that point, bro, if that tree's going to fall over. Because a lot of these trees, that's what could happen easily. Yeah.
Out of her tent at 4 o'clock in the morning. And so he heard her
freezing
screaming.
Too, yeah.
He came out here. He started calling back to her. He said, I hear you. I see you.
That'd be terrifying.
He
yeah,
called
absolutely.
for help. He
her
didn't
limb?
have any
No, the
luck
tree
getting
limb.
Response from 911. So he actually went down the street, flagged down a law enforcement person, said, hey, there's a girl in a tree over here. They sent boats. They sent a couple of boats. They had to figure out a way to get the boats down to river level. And of course, the river was still high at that point.
Holy fuck, man. God damn. Well, that's what happens, right? There it is. And I'd be a terrible alarm clock. Yeah, that's a fucking fact, man. I'd be freaking the fuck out, man. I would be, but yeah, I mean, there's sometimes like everybody. There's always instances like this where something bad like this happens, and everybody's looking for someone to blame or someone to complain about or whatever. But the fact is that in a lot of cases, it just happens. Like, bad shit literally just happens, and there's nothing you can do about it.